What's up, everybody? I am the coach, and welcome to another episode of Shut Up and Work. Today, I want to talk to you about, is it necessary? Now think about it for a minute. If you are trying to reach your goal, let's say you're trying to escape that 9 to 5, or you are trying to get that promotion at your job, is it necessary for you to be doing the same thing that everyone else is doing in order to achieve your goals? So let's talk for a minute. Let's get in more detail of this. If you live in the United States of America, as you all may know, everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, somebody is trying to sell you something. Whether it's a watch on your wrist, whether it's new clothes, gold chain, a phone, everybody's trying to sell you something. Whether you're driving down the street, whether you're listening to the radio or streaming on the radio service, whether you're watching TV or streaming something on a TV service. You cannot go anywhere in America and there's not somebody or something with an advertisement trying to sell you something. So just like that, just like things in life, you have people that are trying to sell you their life or their dream or their course of action. Yes, it's okay to have a mentor. Yes, it's okay to have some guidance. But in the same sense, is it necessary to do exactly what everybody else in the world is doing? Think about it. You go through school, and the sale is through school is to, get the highest grades as possible so you can go off to a college and learn that area of study, whether that be becoming a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, nurse, etc. You get my point. But there's never anything in school that tests you, at least when I was coming up, that tests you on what you're good at, what you will actually flow to, what you will actually gravitate to, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, I know in today's time, you have a lot of these charter schools that focus on bringing out what your skill levels are, what your highest achievements would be in that situation. But I'm kind of speaking to the fact that when I was coming through school in the public school system, I didn't have these things. Therefore, it was just the traditional roles, as I just named a moment ago, that the schools wanted to funnel you into and keep you going down that road. And I believe this plays a big part in why and where I am today, and why I didn't want to continue following that system, because I felt it wasn't necessary. Now, your subconscious mind picks up on things when it repetitively hears something, or when you repetitively do something. At least that's what scientists and psychiatrists and a lot of these mental health professions have stated. Meaning, you don't necessarily have to say, hey, I want to be a doctor, but you can be around a group of people who are all going to medical school to become a doctor. And who knows, you might find yourself either studying to be a doctor, either studying to be a nurse, or, a pediatrician or something to that nature. That's how it works sometimes. Now, let's take an example of something simple. I remember when I was real big off into college football, and it's not that I'm not big off into it now. It's just that I'm moving on to do bigger and better things like this podcast. But I used to sit down and watch a few games on Saturdays. And one of the things I used to notice, and I'm not picking on this particular food chain, was Wendy's. Wendy's would always advertise their new hamburgers on game days on Saturday. And so, first, you see the commercial 2 or 3 times, you think nothing of it, right? But then they keep airing this commercial, keep airing it and airing it. And even when you change the channel, you say, oh, been seeing this commercial, let me flip to another game or something else that's going on TV. You see the same commercial. So I remember one time, one Saturday in particular, I probably seen this Wendy's commercial about 30 times, right? Then, nothing came of it. I didn't buy the burger. Then the following Saturday, I think I had some errands I had to run, and then I ran home and I was watching the game or getting caught up on what game was happening at that time. I can't tell you what particular teams was playing, but in that sense, I had started feeling hungry. I was ready to eat. Well, I didn't feel like cooking. And what did I do? Next thing you know, I find myself in the drive-thru of that Wendy's getting the bacon cheeseburger or bacon mushroom burger or whatever the hell it was. I ended up going to Wendy's. And I remember when I got home and I was probably like halfway through the burger, and I was thinking to myself like, man, I didn't even want this hamburger. And I was like, I just went to Wendy's because for the past couple of Saturdays, I had just been seeing this commercial about how great the burger was. So that's one example of how your subconscious mind can like lead you to things or bring things to you in your universe if you're not careful about what's around you. Another example I like to bring up is I remember, and I'm telling off on my age, when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s time frame, and some of you that might be around my age, you probably will remember this too. Radio stations was very big. This was before the Sirius XM and the Spotify and all these other streaming platforms that you have to listen to music. The radio was huge, AM and FM. Well, anyway, Black artists in particular, radio played a significant amount of getting their promotion and people going out and buying their albums and things of that nature. So what the radio stations used to do is whenever an artist dropped a new album, they would play that hit song, right? One hit song, everybody likes it, they groove into it, they like, yeah, this is hot, this is my stuff. But that same radio station will turn around and they will start playing, or they will pick a song off that particular artist's album that's not so hot, that doesn't sound that well as the hit one that you heard before. And they will play that song, the bad one, let's call it that, over and over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden, it sticks in your head. You find yourself at work or at school or wherever, you find yourself humming to the bad song or trying to sing the lyrics to that bad song. Funny how that works subconsciously in your mind. So even though that artist or that group you may buy their whole album, they probably have 5, 6, 7 songs on that album that could have been played versus that bad song. So I don't know if that was done purposely by the radio stations or what, but it was crazy. And it used to be funny because you'll find yourself saying, man, that song, I don't like it, or it sucks, or it doesn't sound as good as the other hit song. But then you'll end up liking it because every time you turn on the radio, they keep playing it and playing it and playing it and playing it. So that's just another example of is it necessary, and how the marketing and advertising that goes on here in the US, how they play on your mind like that and tell you that you need something that you don't actually need. So putting that in perspective and in conclusion, that's just like when you are growing up, as I said earlier, and you're going through school, you're going to college or through the military, and you're thinking, hey, this is necessary, that I need this, that I need to get a 4-year degree. Back then, during my day, now you need a master's or a PhD in order to be called successful to everyone. So the point I'm trying to make is you have to kind of make up in your mind, is it worth it in what I'm doing right now? Yes, I understand you need to feed yourself or feed your family or things in that nature. But should you, or you should be trying to make the necessary steps to change your situation if you are unhappy, if you know that you're being marginalized, undervalued, and unappreciated in your job. You need to do something different, or maybe look for another job. And it's not necessary for you to do exactly with what an elder may tell you that you need to do, or a mentor, or a boss, or your friends, your coworkers, your family. I'm not saying not to hear them out, but what I'm saying is you may have to isolate. Once you make up your mind, you may have to shut them out in order to go out and achieve what you want to achieve. So you have to come up with that decision and what is important to you. And with that being said, please like, share, subscribe. And I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments about this. Are you stuck in this situation? Are you in a situation where it's necessary for you to keep your job because you are happy and you like the way that things are going? Or are you miserable at it and it's necessary that you have to make changes in what you are doing in your daily routine and in your work career? So with that being said, all of you out there, thank you for taking time to listen to my channel. Take care, make it a great day, and peace.